What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about a very famous mathematician, scientist, and an Islamic scholar, that is Inayatullah Khan Mashriqi, prominently known as Allama Mashriqi. Allama Mashriqi broke multiple records at the University of Punjab and Cambridge universities. Furthermore, he established a social movement called the Khaksars movement, which was founded in 1931. In addition, he played a very crucial role in the independence of Indo-Pakistan. Early life of Allama Mashriqi. Allama Mashriqi was a son of Khan Atta Muhammad Khan that had a distinguished personality, who was born in Amritsar, India. He authorized poetry and many books in prose, which were well recognized. Mashriqi's mother was a very well educated and religious person. Inayatullah Khan was born in Amritsar, India on 25th August 1888 in a Punjabi Rajput family and died in Lahore, Pakistan on 27th August 1963. Mashriqi was born with an intelligent mind, and during his school years he obtained several scholarships and distinction in his class. By achieving this, it could be seen that he would become a great scholar and a leader. After his extraordinary performance at the FC College and Punjab University, he left Lahore for England to continue his higher education at the University of Cambridge. While spending time in Cambridge, Mashriqi realized that Indians lived in poverty and were ruled by foreigners. In order to change this, he knew that something had to be done to extinguish this problem. Allama Mashriqi completed his education in 1912. He then spent a couple of months in Europe. During this time, he was offered a position of the Premier of Alwar in India, which came with a high paid salary and fringe benefits by the Maharaja of Alwar. However, Mashriqi respectfully rejected the offer. Mashriqi was very disturbed with the living state of Muslims in India. He had restless nights as a result of his concern. At this point of time, Mashriqi's aim was to join the education department so that he would be able to construct the character of the youth and instill them with the true values and teachings of his religion. Mashriqi went back to India in January 1913 and became the vice principal of Islamia College in Peshawar. In 1920, Mashriqi started awe-inspiring work, Tazkira, a commentary of the Holy Quran, which he completed this in 1924. Moreover, Mashriqi established the Khalsa Foundation in 1930 to eradicate poverty, reform society, and bring freedom to India. He believed that everyone is equal in society regardless of their creed, color, or religion. Moving on to the powerful message of Allama Mashriqi. In 1930, Allama Mashriqi resigned from government service, leaving behind his luxurious lifestyle, handsome salary, and social position, because he thought that as leader of a nation, living a luxurious life and his people living in poverty was not a fair to his nation. He started to live as a commoner and stopped wearing Western style suits. Mashriqi ceased spending his money on luxury and comfort. Mashriqi laid the foundation for his Khaksar Tehreek to bring freedom in India and eliminate poverty. He wanted a society with peace and love to bring unity in nation. Allama Mashriqi revolutionized the Muslims in India. He went to Lucknow in 1939 to to stop Shia and Sunni brawls. Mashriqi was successful in this mission. However, he was under arrest whilst tried to intervene a settlement. Allama Mashriqi was released from jail because of public pressure, but the government portrayed false news. The government made an apology letter and faked Mashriqi's signature. When Mashriqi heard about the fake published news, he went back to Lucknow, where once again Mashriqi was arrested. Mashriqi, with extraordinary efforts for the Muslims, helped to expand the Khalsa movement ideology. In 1939, the Khalsa movement reached unexpected levels which spread all over India. This was seen as a major threat and was an expansionism as no one has ever seen such a powerful political movement since the Khalsa movement. Moving on, the British felt scared and intimidated because of the way the movement was growing, which was spread in every corner of India. They knew that this will cause a revolution. Because of this, the British forcibly put an end to Tehreek by restricting Mashriqi's activities. Allama Mashriqi went to Delhi to meet Viceroy Lord Linlithgow and asked him to remove the restrictions which were on his activities. During his time, Mashriqi met famous barristers, politicians, and the founder of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam, and other Muslim leaders. Allama Mashriqi persuaded that the restrictions were not genuine and he did not do anything against the law. On the other hand, in 1940, the Khalsa movement paraded on the streets of Lahore and protested against the ban. During the protest, the Khalsa made their way to the famous Badshahi Mosque to pray. As the Khalsa marched through the streets, the police made an attempt to stop the Khalsa, but the police were unsuccessful to stop the brave and strong Khalsa, and suddenly the police opened fire on hundreds of innocent Khalsa, but the Khalsa did not stop. Whilst they were still marching through the streets, it could be seen the innocent Khalsa were being tortured and killed throughout. On March 19, Mashriqi was under arrest again, and the Khalsa was banned. A large protest took place against the massacre on Mashriqi arrest. On 21st March 1940, Quaid-e-Azam went to the hospital to visit the tortured and victimized Khalsa and expressed his feelings. On 24th March 1940, Jinnah told print media that Muslim League will make significant decisions to transform Pakistan in the upcoming sessions. He also visited the Badshahi Mosque and Lahore Fort, which was filled with 100,000 people who attended the march. On the same day, the Khalsa commanded for independent investigation of the incident and the removal of the ban on the Khalsa which was passed. Unfortunately, a dreadful incident occurred on 31st March 1940. Ehsanullah Khan Aslam, who was a son of Allama Mashriqi, died because of police aggression. Allama Mashriqi wrote a heartfelt poem about his son where he expressed his feelings as the public found out about the death of Ehsanullah Khan Aslam. They were infuriated. Therefore, the protest against Mashriqi's imprisonment continued. Nevertheless, the government still kept Mashriqi imprisoned. During his time in prison, Mashriqi was fasting. Despite the protests still occurring, the government did not change their decision. Finally, after fasting until the last breath, Mashriqi was released on 19th January 1942. Khalsa movement was not allowed to visit the Madras presidency, where Mashriqi stayed until December 1942. On 23rd March 1942, Sir Stafford Cripps went to New Delhi regarding the proposal of India's independence. Mashriqi wrote a telegram to Sir Stafford Cripps in which he insisted the complete freedom of India. On 28 March 1942, Jinnah also commended the demand of the complete independence of India, whereas the Muslims, Mashriqi and Khalsas were still working on the removal of the ban on the Tehreek. According to Eastern Times, Muslims insisted that the ban would be uplifted and the ban on Khalsas were removed on 28 December 1942. Mashriqi went back to Lahore on 3rd January 1943, where the people of Lahore were pleased to see him and welcomed him. On 4th January 1943, Mashriqi addressed the Khalsas after his arrival in Lahore. Allama Mashriqi was working toward his goal, which was to restart the Khalsas' activities. However, during his time they were under the British rule, and many South Indians were integrated in a region called Madras Presidency. In 1956, the Madras Presidency was broke up and the Tamil Nadu was made. Mashriqi came to know that if the issues between the Hindus and Muslims were not solved, then the freedom would not take place. Almashriqi requested Jinnah and Gandhi to arrange a meeting where they would have a talk on the freedom of India. Mashriqi had a sense that if both would come together and urge for freedom, then it would be unstoppable for the British to hold on to the power in India and they would win their fight for freedom. Allama Mashriqi sent a telegram to Quaid-e-Azam where he stated that Gandhiji's letter to you to meet him is indeed a prelude to the achievement of Pakistan as well as India's independence. I request you to reconsider the significance of his invitation. Out of nowhere, an unthinkable incident occurred where a Muslim attacked Jinnah and was alleged to be a Khalsa. Yet, this was a conspiracy by Mashriqi's opposition so that they can divide the Muslims and finish the Khalsas politically. Although this incident took place, nonetheless, Mashriqi still continued the efforts of him placing a meeting between Jinnah and Gandhi. On 2nd August 1944, the Tribune published an article stating Mashriqi's letter to Jinnah, Khalsas anxious for Pakistan and freedom, and under the heading newspaper wrote, welcoming the forthcoming Gandhi-Jinnah meeting. Mashriqi also wrote a letter to Mr. Jinnah stating, after anxious and patient moments of the last few weeks when I finally wrote to you, I have my utmost sincere appreciation that you have come forward to alter the destiny of India to something better, and I assure you again that I, along with every Khalsa that is in the land, will work with you in the full spirit of loyalty and friendship for the achievement of Pakistan and consequently the independence of India. I am also writing to Gandhi but these moves have cleared the tense atmosphere that existed on this serious occasion.